the trick that I tell my students is that when you're looking to expand your vocabulary, try selecting some words, and these words should be synonyms of the words that you already use a lot so that you won't find it difficult to use it. Right, so find a good source where you get your vocabulary from. There could be some good websites. If you're a reader, then that's well and great. You can find or highlight some words from a book that you're currently reading. So select not more than 10 words on a weekly basis, but not less than 5. So the quantity should be maximum 10, minimum 5 words. Okay. So you select the words, you understand their meaning. A word can have multiple meanings depending on the context we're using it. So you understand the words, there are different meanings, how you can use the word in a conversation, and then for the whole week you have to try using those words again and again whenever you're having a conversation. And you don't have to limit the conversation to just English. Even when you're speaking in your native language, you have to try implementing those words so that you get the most out of the words. So practice the words thoroughly, and after a week or two, when you think, okay, now I know the words, I can use them easily, they are in my active vocabulary, move on to different set of words.
Hello, very good evening, ma'am. How are you doing today?
Hello, good evening. I'm doing wonderful. What about you?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm fit as a fiddle and doing fantabulous from my end. Thanks for your kind concern.
You're welcome. So, how has your day been so far?
Yeah, my day has been going so far, so good. No complaint by the grace of Almighty God.
Mhm.
Thanks. How about your day? How was your day so far?
I am recovering from a little bit of a fever, so my day, I would say it was good. It has been good so far. I've been feeling great. So grateful to God to be here. That's it. All
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
So
Everything is okay, but first, I think you should take care of your health. Then only you can do other
yes,
works.
that's
Health
it.
is wealth.
Absolutely. Yes, yes, that is correct. I agree with you there. I'm good. I'm better now. That's why I'm here in front of you. Okay.
Okay.
Anyways, so since we're meeting for the first time, I want to say that welcome to the session, and let me quickly introduce myself. All right. As you
Yes,
may
ma'am.
already know, my name is Rupali. I'm an English language trainer. I have been teaching for the past 2 years and I reside in Chandigarh. All right.
Okay.
Can
Yes,
you
ma'am.
tell me something about yourself?
Yeah, sure. I would be more than happy to tell about myself. Well, my name is Shiv. I born here is in Uttarakhand. By profession, I'm a government employee. As far as my academic qualification concerned, I'm done with my master in English, master in commerce, and this year I'm pursuing my master in economics. In addition to this, I run my own YouTube channel by the name of English with Teacher Shiv, where I upload spoken English content and one-on-one conversational practice for improving my spoken English. And that's all from my side.
All right, wonderful. Okay, then, so shall we begin the session?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. And I know the topic for the session is something else, but if it is okay for you, so I just want to clear some of my doubts related to
Sure,
vocabulary on. So shall I
sure.
go for that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for giving this privilege to clarify my doubts and all. Well, my first question for is very general and normal question. I think you have been answering this question for a long period of time since you are an English trainer. So, how a beginner like me or intermediate speaker who literally wants to boost his vocabulary to the extreme level, what are the steps he has to follow?
So, for vocabulary, the main thing you have to keep in mind is how much you are practicing the words. So, the trick that I tell my students is that when you're looking to expand your vocabulary, try selecting some words, and these words should be synonyms of the words that you already use a lot so that you won't find it difficult to use it. Right, so find a good source where you get your vocabulary from. There could be some good websites. If you're a reader, then that's well and great. You can find or highlight some words from a book that you're currently reading. So select not more than 10 words on a weekly basis, but not less than 5. So the quantity should be maximum 10, minimum 5 words. Okay, so you select the words, you understand their meaning. A word can have multiple meanings depending on the context we're using it. So you understand the words, their different meanings, how you can use the word in a conversation, and then for the whole week you have to try using those words again and again whenever you're having a conversation. And you don't have to limit the conversation to just English. Even when you're speaking in your native language, you have to try implementing those words so that you get the most out of the words. So practice the words thoroughly, and after a week or two, when you think, okay, now I know the words, I can use them easily, they are in my active vocabulary, move on to different set of words. So this is a very small trick, but it works wonders because it gives you time to practice the words. All right, and since you have practiced it a lot, you remember it. Otherwise, if you learn, okay, I'm going to learn 5 words every day, it doesn't give you the time to practice the words, because every day you're working on new words. You may remember one
Yeah.
word, you may remember 2 words. So that's of no use. The words will be just sitting in your mind in a corner. We don't want that. So we want to use the word. So that's the basic thing any person can do at any level to expand the vocabulary. What else?
Yes, ma'am, that was literally a captivating answer you have given for my question. And my another query for you is that it's been around 4 years I have been practicing with this language, and I have learned plenty of vocabs. But when it comes to implementation, I mean to say, for example, right now I'm having conversation with you. There are
Mhm,
some certain and specific words that I have learned, and I want to use it. But I don't
mhm,
know why I'm not able to use it. I'm not able to recall any of those vocabs which I have been learning so far.
mhm,
So why is it so, and how could I overcome with this?
mhm. The reason for that is the same. I just explained. It's because you learn those words, you understood their meaning, but you actually never practiced them. That's why right now, if you look at the word somewhere in a conversation, you hear it or you read it somewhere, you'll remember that, oh yeah, I know this word. But because you haven't practiced it verbally, you're not able to remember it at the moment. So the thing again is that you can make a whole diary of all the words that you know, okay? You can keep it somewhere so that you have a whole, you have your own dictionary with all the words that you know, and you can keep on selecting words from there that, okay, I would like to use this word. This is a word that I have known for 5 years, but I have never really gotten around to using it, so let me select this word and let me use it. Okay, and then again you have to do the same thing. You have to try using the words in the conversation. You can try making some scenarios in your mind that, okay, how can I use it? Okay, maybe when I greet the next teacher, I can use this word. I'm just giving an example. Or today's topic is this, maybe while having this conversation I can use this word, right? So think of it in that way. The
Yeah,
reason is basic why you're not able to use it. It's because you haven't used it ever. That's it. Okay.
true, ma'am. And there are two terminology. Like first one is difficult vocabularies, and the
Mm-hmm.
second one is advanced vocabularies.
Mm-hmm.
So how could I know like what are the difficult vocabularies and what are the advanced vocabulary, and what is the like what are the differences between these two different terminology? I just want to know because sometimes when I'm using vocabulary, for example, awestruck, then flabbergasted, humdrum, or monotonous, and amalgamation, then magnanimous. So I just want to know from your side, like how can I differentiate between advanced vocabulary that I use or the difficult vocabularies people consider these vocabs as a difficult vocabulary? What do you think about it?
See, what I would recommend when you go on this journey to work on your vocabulary is do not try to run after the words that I use advanced word or I am using difficult words. So as you said, right? The goal, the aim here should be that whatever words you're using at whatever level, you are able to use it flawlessly in your conversation. Okay, there might be times when you use some words and the other person may not know that, right? Which will happen a lot if you go in this path of that, oh, I want to go to advanced level. Because, but don't think that they won't know the words that you mentioned. Even though they are advanced, they are quite common. Okay, these words flabbergasted and all, even though they're advanced, they're quite common. People do know them. They may never use it, but people know them, right? So now you'll think that, oh, people know them, they're not advanced. No, they're definitely advanced words. So the only thing between a difficult one and an advanced word is advanced word. I mean, if you want to use flabbergasted, it just means like very shock. Okay, so the
True.
basic word is shocked. But if we wanna, I don't wanna use shocked, so I'm using flabbergasted. That's the advanced version of it. A difficult word is a word that may be difficult to pronounce, a word that may be difficult to spell out, or even maybe difficult to implement in a sentence, right? So don't go on with whether it's a difficult word or not. Try using those vocabulary words that you like. All right, and don't care something that people also, they have in their mind is that when I tell them that, okay, you're a very good speaker, but do work on your vocabulary, they think, no, but what if I use some vocabulary words and others don't understand? It's okay. It's okay. If they don't understand, they will let you know that, "Now, what do you mean by that? What does that mean?" You can simply tell them that this is what it means. You'll be helping another person expand their vocabulary. So you also do not go with any terminology, just go with whatever word you like. I like this word, I like this word. All right. So that's the thing, right? Because a language has hundreds and thousands of words. We cannot possibly know all the words, right? We can't possibly know this is an advanced, this is an intermediate, and we don't have to because nobody's gonna ask you, hey, what word is this? Like, is it intermediate? Is it simple? What it is advanced? You should just know the word, where it comes from, what it means, and how to use it. That much is enough for you. Okay, that's the thing.
Uh, yes, ma'am. But you know what? Actually, when I started learning this language, English, I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
speak English a single sentence because I completed my whole education in Hindi medium. So that was a challenge to learn this language.
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow, I managed and I did a lot of hard work. And
I
that's
can
how
see
I
that.
was in that situation where I could speak English, not fluently, but I was in that position where I could speak and I was actually making sense.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that I felt about myself that I was lacking with my vocabulary. I know what to speak, but I don't know how to speak just because of lack of vocabs. I don't have the exact English word for that particular Hindi thought that I
Mm-hmm.
had in my mind.
Yeah.
Since since that I started learning vocabulary. I
Mm-hmm.
felt like I need to improve my vocabulary, and I started learning vocabs. Throughout the journey of learning vocabulary, I have learned so many advanced vocabs as well, like something quite fancy and classy. And now those vocabs, something is in my blood, though I am trying my best in order to halt that I should
Mm-hmm.
not use it.
You should
But
never.
sometimes what happen, what happens, sometimes it comes out. Now,
Mm-hmm.
what people say about me that, sir, you should not use any advanced vocabs when you are speaking English because we don't know the exact meaning of this word, and sometimes we couldn't understand just because of these advanced vocabs.
Mm-hmm.
So that what I want to ask you, like, is it worthy enough or is it beneficial for me to learn advanced vocabs? Yes or no? Not only in terms of using, but also if someone else will use so that I can understand and I would not face the same problem as they people are facing when I am using these vocabs.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to know from you.
Yes, it is definitely worth it. Like I just said, I already mentioned this thing, right? That a lot of people say this, they have this confusion that I don't want to learn these advanced words. I just want to be able to put my thoughts, articulate my thoughts, whatever I'm thinking, into simple words. And that is fine for them, right? But then when they move forward in their journey, they do face this problem. Not everybody is going to use basic words. Some people, they love vocabulary, they love learning new words like you, right? And then they face trouble that, oh, I don't know, the way he speaks is so different than what I do. I mean, he's also speaking English, it's just that the words that he's using, they are not basic, right? So I would say it is definitely worth it. Do not contain yourself that, oh, but just because somebody is not understanding, I shouldn't use it. Oh, no, no, you shouldn't limit that. You should use whichever words you want. If somebody is not able to understand, they'll ask you, you'll explain. You'll get a chance to explain. This is what it means. Although later on they'll go and Google it. What is Google for? Right? So it's definitely worth it. You keep on working on your vocabulary. right? Just because other people don't understand, that's not their problem. That is not your problem, whether people are understanding or not. So don't care about that. You
Yeah,
keep on moving on your journey.
in fact, when I'm talking to people like you who are really proficient and impeccable in terms of this language,
Hmm.
I feel like, wow, I know this word, but I couldn't use it. Why? This word is not
Hmm.
coming to my mind. I know the meaning of this word, but when I'm
Hmm.
speaking, I'm not able to recall these words. I don't know why. In fact,
Hmm.
when I'm speaking, so I feel that I somewhere is lacking where I should use the appropriate word with appropriate context, right place, right
Hmm.
timing, and right person as well. So
Hmm.
how could I master this art? I mean to select the right word should come into, with right context because
Yes.
one single word has different
Hmm.
meanings.
Correct.
And I know 100% it's not possible that if I want to say curious and I want to alter this word curious and I would remember inquisitive or keen,
Hmm.
there might be some other word that comes in my mind and I would start speaking like eager or I'm hungry or I
Hmm.
have a burning desire in spite of
Hmm.
saying curious. So
Correct.
how would I master this art to use correct word in its
Hmm.
appropriate place with the appropriate context?
Mm-hmm. So first is you have to try to create that environment wherein you're talking to people having different proficiency levels, right? So one is here, you come and speak here. So here you don't have to bound yourself. You can use whatever words you want, right? And
True.
if you talk with somebody else, maybe friends or family members, and you know, okay, their level isn't that high up, right? With them, you have to practice in such way that maybe you're not using advanced words. It again, it boils down to practice. Learning a language is all about practicing. So the more you would practice, okay, you would better understand that okay, this is what works for me, this is what does not work for me. So the main thing is practicing. So you practice a lot, you practice as much as you can, right? So that you understand. And the thing is, like you mentioned, that sometimes I may not want to use this word, sometimes I may want to use a different word, right? So the thing is, with practice you'll be able to. Sometimes it happens with me. It doesn't matter how much practice you've had, still sometimes, after you have a conversation and you think, I could have used that word, I that would have been appropriate, but at the time you do not get that word. And because
True.
you're so engrossed in the conversation, you don't want to break the flow and be like, wait, let me think for a minute, I'm getting that better word, right? So it's okay,
Yes.
it's fine, there's always another conversation where you can use the word, right? So do not think that, oh, I have to give my all in every conversation. Some conversations are not that great, you know and you have to stick to the basic words. It's fine, right? It is fine. So practice, but practice will tell you, your intuition will tell you which word will go where. So always follow your gut.
Yeah,
Okay.
and out of the box, suddenly one more question pop up in my mind that talking about vocabulary only itself, what happened? We do have a lot of vocabs, like
Yeah.
infinite. We don't have any particular number for those vocabs.
Hmm.
So whenever a new word come across to me, like and I don't know the meaning of that word along with its pronunciation,
Mm-hmm.
and I have heard somewhere there is something which called syllable, then
Mm-hmm.
word stress, then primary and secondary stress.
Yes.
I want to know from your side, how would I know that how many syllables there are in this word
Mm-hmm.
and which one is the stress syllable where the stress has to fall on? Like I have to stress on that syllable, then only I would able to pronounce it word correctly. For example, the word is qualification. So there are, I guess, five syllable qualification. So the four syllable K is the stress syllable where I need to stress on, and the rest of the syllable would remain constant.
Mm-hmm.
So I know this word and I've been using this word for a long period of time. I know the correct pronunciation or I know the syllable and stress syllable. But what if there is a new word and I don't want to look at Google and dictionary and I just want to know that okay, which one is the stress syllable and I have to stress on this syllable. So how could I do that
Mm-hmm.
so that I could pronounce that word correctly?
Yes, yes. The thing is that the best option is to just look at the correct pronunciation on Google, because it has happened with me so many times wherein I'm learning a book and there is a word and I know that word by heart, I know it, and I've never actually used it in conversation because I'm like, it's quite advanced. And then like years later, because I haven't, I'm just making my own pronunciation, thinking, oh yeah, yeah, it's correct. And one day somebody uses that word, and I'm like, wait, hold on, wait, no. And then I check the pronunciation, yeah, and it's that pronunciation, and I'm like, oh, I should have checked the pronunciation. So the safer side is whenever you see any word written somewhere, not spoken by somebody, because if somebody speaks it, pronounce it out loud, you know that okay, this is how I have to pronounce it. But if it's a word that you found somewhere written, the best possible way to go about is to look at the pronunciation, because sometimes you may know, you think that no, 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 the word is written like that, so these many syllables and this. But English is a funny language, right? Sometimes we'll
Yes,
put
it
a
is.
word there and we'll make it silent, right? And you'll think, but wait, it's that it should be four syllables. But I'm like, no, no, it's only three or it's only two,
Mm,
because it goes on phonics, sounds in English. You know, in Hindi we look at the how the word is written, the matrai and everything. But in
yeah.
English, it's not about the words, the letters. It's about the sounds they make. So if you want to be able to judge like that, then you'll have to go into this whole, whole of world of phonics, and you learn
Ah,
the sounds each alphabet is making. Two words combined together, if another word is coming, this word would pronounce this word, it will sound like that. So then you'll have to just stop that all, and not going too much into detail about that. You just look at the pronunciation once, and also the word is given there in bracket as well, that this is how you'll pronounce it. So from there you can see that how many syllables it has and which is the stress word. If you don't want to look at the pronunciation, you can just look at the word, that this is how it is pronounced. That will be the best possible way, because then if not, then you'll have to learn phonics from the start, because there are so many rules. Okay, so that's the thing, and it can save you
yeah.
some humiliation as well. Okay, if you use that word and you haven't seen the
Okay.
pronunciation.
Why I'm asking this question to you, ma'am, because I took a trial session of English Yaari, and there the trainer has corrected me for my pronunciation, and I was
Mm,
totally awestruck at that point of time that is it
mm,
so? Because I
mm,
have been pronouncing the word in this way, and nobody
mm,
has corrected me ever for
mm,
this. Then she said, that's why we are here. So I thought of, okay, fine, let me just ask this question to you because
mm.
something related to vocabulary at the same time, a bit part of pronunciation.
Correct.
So, yes, ma'am, these were my queries which I have asked you. Now, at the end of conversation, I want you to just give me feedback, not
Mm,
for a specific thing, but overall. Like, I want you to give me a feedback holistically.
mm,
Overall, what are the
mm,
things that I need to improve on? What are the flaws that you have found in my spoken English since I started interacting with you? And how
mm.
could I overcome with those shortcomings?
Correct. Yes. First of all, do you have any other questions? Anything?
No, ma'am, not
All
right now.
right. Okay. So I would say the session was wonderful, the way you speak, and you started this on your own. You said that it has been 4 years since you've started your journey, right? So I can definitely see that you have improved. As you've told me that earlier, you were not even able to form a coherent sentence, but now you're speaking, right? You have your own channel. So I would say the session was wonderful. All right, the way you enunciate, your enunciation, I love the way you enunciate the things. All right.
Thank you.
Right. There were one or twice some grammar mistakes were there. For example, there was one instant you were talking about something and you said I is. Okay. Right. You said something. You can check the recording. So it was a very
Okay, I will.
tiny, I think may have been a slip of your tongue. Because sometimes when we're too much into the conversation, sometimes that happens. Sorry. So I want you to be a little bit more careful. But I would say just keep on practicing. There's nothing wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. You're doing everything right. So I was able to understand everything you said. Your grammar is great. Enunciation, pronunciation is good. Right now, just towards the end, when you were talking about pronunciation, you did mispronounce a word. It was, I think, satisfy.
Satisfy.
Yeah, or it was some word. I forgot. It was, but it was S word. So you when you pronounced it, you put a lot of stress on the sir, which should not have happened. Okay.
Okay.
You said something
Okay.
like satisfied or something. You said it. So you have to remember, even though we want our speech, whatever we're saying, to be impactful and we want to stress some words, sometimes we have to do it softly. Okay?
Okay.
That's the thing. So again, that is one thing that you have to keep in mind that yeah, you have to modulate the voice and you need to highlight some words, but do it a bit softly. So it looks natural. We don't want it to you look abnormal or why is he speaking that way? Right? So
Yeah.
that's the thing. Otherwise everything was great. Okay? So just keep in mind these small things, right? That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah. That
keep
was.
learning the words. Mm.
Yeah, it was not my sleepwalking. I think I did mistake. Sorry, I
Okay.
made mistake because I haven't learned grammar in my entire life, and you won't
Mm.
believe. Before this session, that session which I took, that was only for grammar, and I've asked her, the tutor,
Mhm.
like, how could I improve my grammar? And I've been
Okay.
working on it for a long period of time. Like, see how much time it would take me to reach on that level where I'm seeking myself. But
Mm-hmm.
again, the session was literally fruitful and productive for me. I've enjoyed a lot, and I'll try to book again next session with you so that I would ask some other queries regarding spoken English, and I would able to discuss some other aspect of this language.
Yes,
But thank you for answering
absolutely.
my questions.
Yes, thank you so much for coming. It was lovely talking to you, and you are always welcome to come to the session with any queries that you have. I'm here to help you. All right. And yes, I'm looking
Thank you
forward to
so
seeing
much.
you again. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Likewise, man.
then.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Take
Take
care. Have a
care.
good evening. Bye.
Yeah, likewise. Same